but it's so awesome because I mean, even when you're saying that, right? It's like, man, you're thinking about, because I always just see good business principles are gospel principles to me, right? Every time I hear good business principles, I hear like gospel principles jumping off the page. And we're just saying, and I'm thinking like, man, God has given all of us a ministry of reconciliation. We're supposed to be bringing people together, not separating them. And even in how you go about, right, working with your clients, is still for the purpose of, at the end of the day, we're trying to solve a problem that still brings you two together, that you're not seeing from an adversarial standpoint, right? But you guys can be reconciled. And after we're done with what we do here, you guys can go on and still grow that relationship more and more. Has that been something you've seen? Have you have any experience, a story of individual that you've helped, a business that you've worked with, and you've seen that relationship after you've dealt with it really be able to mend and grow from there?
Probably the most influential case I ever had was representing a client where the client's partners basically double crossed them and try to steal the whole company out from under him. And
wow,
of course, I'm like, litigation is a mess. You want to avoid as much as possible, but then it reaches a point where, like,
right,
they left no other option. So do the suing, going to trial, doing great. Well, not really trial, but we're having hearings. We're getting there. We seem to be having success, and let's settle. Then all of a sudden, the client says, "You know what? I just want to give them everything." Like, I want to have peace. Let's just, the relationships are more important. And then I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Never thought I would have a client do this. Where is this coming from? But it was interesting to see the results. And this person was struggling at first, but after doing these steps, has become extremely successful. And now, and I think you see relationships where, that the conflict with the partners was leading into conflicts and issues with others. And, the world is a small space, and it starts having these huge ramifications. But, by willing to sacrifice, right? We're willing to, give up even when it hurts to restore the relationship.
Wow.
It bore wonderful fruits for this person. And to me, it was great confirmation to see that it is okay to do what most lawyers will think is absolutely crazy and never let their clients do. But I was just so inspired by this client, their story, and that really has put me on the path to, yes, litigation is almost never the right path. There's got to be usually a better way that will heal the relationships, because at the end of the day, what really matters? If you were the richest person on the planet, you had everything, but you were alone, would any of that stuff really matter?
Wow.
So I mean, and just look at the way the universe is created. We have an atom, or the atoms make all the matter around us. So that microphone in front of you, your shirt, it is atoms that are held together in relationships. There's bonds. And what happens? We cut the atom and we find there's other particles that are held together in relationships. We cut those and there's smaller particles that are held together. I mean, it seems like the universe is actually created of relationships, I would say. It's not necessarily matter. So we talk about, like, what's the meaning of life? We always joke about it. Nobody knows the meaning of life, but I think it's really simple, right? It's to love and to be loved.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. Wow. That's powerful. First of all, like I always say, like, I need to get a machine so I can drop bombs when I hear points like that. Okay. Because, man, that is so powerful. The universe is made up of bonds, of relationships, right? That's what it's all about. And I'm so happy to hear, right, and see that we can live out our Christianity, right, in our businesses. That's the main thing, right? I hope that whoever's listening to this story, right, that inspired Jay, right, in the midst of this moment to even show you, right, that, you know what, you're on the right path in the way you're going about conducting your business. But guess what? That's for every single one of us and every single thing that we do. we can live our Christianity in our businesses. God will take care of all of the rest, right?
Exactly.
He will make sure that we're good. But the purpose for us being there, it's not just the job, it's the relationships, it's the bonds that we're building with our clients, with their families, with the individual, even with the people across the table, for example, in this scenario, right? Like, this is why we're there, right? Thanks for watching the Lion and Lambo podcast. We hope this clip has been a huge blessing to you. And we want to remind you that we drop new videos, new podcast episodes every Sunday at 9 o'clock. You can find the full episode by clicking the card up at the top right of this video. If you prefer an audio only experience, then we want to let you know that we're streaming through every major podcast streaming platform. For the full list, you can go to www.lionandthelambo.com. Until next time, go impact the world.